My name is James Momo. I am a Star 7. Been a Star 7, I think this is my 6th month, working on up ranking very quickly. And one of the things that I've learned about this business is that training is a must. If you really want to grow in this business, then you have to train and you have to be trained as well. There's no other business as good as this. This is not an easy business. I do not want to lie to you and tell you this is an easy business. It's not an easy business, but it is a better business that you can be able to do. Personally, I have a business that I run that one of the things I saw was the fact that if I'm not looking for customers myself, the business does not grow. But I get into a business here where I can be able to have leverage in this business. And we'll talk about that in a few slides as we go on. The first thing I'd like us to look at is how do people get into this business? When people are becoming distributors in BF Suma, they join in two different routes. And I want to take you through how you can be able to grow your team much better and much faster so that you know how to approach these two different people. The first kind of people who join this business are joining because of health. These are people who have an ailment, name the disease, name whatever condition that they may be going through, and they need help. So how do you approach these people? The way you approach them is by telling them, we have products that can be able to help you get better in your situation. One thing you can never tell people is that our products heal. That is illegal to say. Our products are food supplements that can help you better your health because your body is supposed to be healing itself. And now we introduce you to products that are actually effective. When you are doing this, the easiest way I have found is by making use of our doctors. So when we are bringing people to our doctors, we are telling them the doctors will actually be able to recommend what you need to take. This doctor, most of the time, when they put that recommendation of supplements at the back, they know the reason why they are doing it. I am personally not a doctor. Many of us here are not medical doctors. So it is not our work to now, after the doctor has spoken, to now come and tell someone, unajua hii, you don't even have to take it now. I have no idea what your condition is, and that's not my work. When you're talking to these people on the very first day that they come in, for many of them, don't tell them about the business part yet. You can help them join your team by telling them they can get a consumer account. What is the advantage of a consumer account? A consumer account helps a patient be able to get access to our products at a much better price. Because the other option for a patient is for them to buy from you. Okay? So it is important that we do not inundate a patient with the stories of BF Suma started in this year. We have this many patents. In fact, you can get a trip. I'm a patient. Those are not things I care about right now. I want to get better. And the next thing there is when you have these people come in at the doctor, let them know that this account they're getting is to help them get better. And the stories of they need to bring people, they need to build a team, those are not things to talk about on that day because they have no idea if your products actually work. They're just trusting you, first of all. They've come that day. So help them, sign them up, and they're signing them up. You're not signing them up into the business. You're signing them up so that they get better. That is really important to do. And then the question of how come I have received this money like we are going to receive on Monday, let that question come from them as they are going on, as you're making the follow-up, then you'll tell them, yes, you received that because of ABCD. Because there's another side of this business apart from the health that as you're coming for your review, because when they're coming for the review, they already can see the products work and you have an easier time talking to them about the product. So you prepare them. In 2 weeks when you're coming for your review, I'll now show you what exactly you need to understand about the business side of this. And so many people, even in this team, have started on the health side. And as you're building your team, it's important to note you need to build with both. You cannot build just with health people, because many of them, when they get healthy, they go away. Some of them, when they get healthy, they do the business. And there are people who do the business, which I want to talk about next, who sometimes in the middle of it, they stop. Okay? When you're talking to people about the business, and there are so many different people at different levels, people who are below you in terms of they respect you and respect your opinion. There are people who are your peers, and there are people who are above you in terms of business and career and even stature in the society. And there are different ways of talking to them. I'll not go through it right now. But you can be able to tell people there is a business that I am involved in that I would love for you to see, and see if it can be for you. It may not be for you, but I want your opinion on the business, or I want you to just see the business opportunity that exists. It is something that I found intriguing, and you may find it is interesting for you. And then you bring them to presentations on Wednesday, on Friday, for the Zoom calls, or even during the trainings that happen at midday in our places. And as you are doing this business, it's important that you make sure that you sell at the recommended prices. There are people who, we have our recommended prices for customers, they put 30% or 40%, even more. What happens is, please remember, you're not the only person selling BF Suma in the country. You're not the only person selling BF Suma in Nairobi or in Nakuru or wherever you are. You're not the only person. And so if I meet with someone and I'm trying to talk to them about the business, and they tell me, by the way, I'm already a consumer and I'm buying this product at this amount of money, and yet the recommended price is less. Of course, we're in business. What will that person think when they find out the recommended price for customers was much lower? One of the things is they may think that you are swindling them, that you try to take too much money out of them. We want to make money, but let's make money as well ethically, so that even if someone went to someone else to price match when they are talking to me, they'll find the price is the same. So they'll know that these people are actually genuine. These people are selling at the same price. And at the same time, on the other end, you should not be going around selling the products at distributor price. Because number one, you are supposed to be in business, and we need to stop feeling guilty about the fact that we are in business. Yes, we want people to get healthy, but we are also in this for the money. When you go into a pharmacy, when you go into a chemist, when you go into a hospital, they have actually set those prices and they are going to make money. So when you are making money as well while you're doing this, you need to be okay with the fact that I need to pay my bills at the end of the month. So both extremes are bad. There are people who are distributors who are selling at distributor prices. That is wrong. You need to be selling at the customer prices. You can give people a discount, like we're about to go into Suma week. You can decide to give your customers a discount. You're getting a discount, your customers are getting a discount. It's a way of getting sales. But make the playing field level for everyone. And then next, this is a business that you're building and you are getting leverage. What does that mean? My efforts alone, I have 24 hours in a day. But if I have a team of 10 people, then I'm able to leverage on their time and their expertise so that I can also grow my business. That is the reason why we bring people into this business, because we are able to make use of their time. We are able to make use of their networks. We're able to make use of their resources to grow our businesses. For instance, while I'm here and I am teaching, I'm not selling. But there's someone who is in my team who has a patient at the doctor. They are working. So I am working as well. And even as I'm growing my team, there's someone else who is also growing their business, but I'm also going to benefit as well. And that is the structure of this business. And as you get into this business, there are resources that you get when you are joining this business. The first is exactly what we are doing now, training. If you really want to succeed in this business, you must commit yourself to training. This training is really important so that you accelerate the path from this, I have started the business, to now I am succeeding in the business. It is training that is in there. And all the people who are training you, they're not experts. They just know one thing more than you. And it doesn't matter if their English is not good, or they may be having so many stories or so many things that you do not like about them personally. Attend a training, because you will always learn something new from the person who is teaching you, because there is a reason why they are standing in front of you. And so you are able to actually get this at our offices. We have offices in Nairobi, at Utumishi, we have Kitengela, we have Ngong, we have Nakuru, we have Meru, Embu, Arusha, Kampala, and we have Dar es Salaam as well. And of course, many more shops have opened. And in all these shops, between 12 and 2, there is training. That training is for you and for your guests. If you really want to be able to accelerate your growth as well, even if you don't know how to speak to people, bring them into trainings. And then we have Zoom trainings. So we have different kinds of trainings. We have 8 p.m. from Sunday to Friday, where we have different team meetings. It may be Brilliant Eagles, it may be the Rising Eagles, which is a team by Prexidis, or it may be the Eagles training, or it may be a doctor's training. That depends. Once you are in the WhatsApp group, you should be able to see all these things. And then there are upline trainings. These are trainings by the person who brought you into the business. And I'll talk about uplines a bit later on. And also there are trainings by other distributors. Sometimes you're seated somewhere, like we were seated on Saturday during the breakfast with BK, and different people were giving lessons. They may not be in Brilliant Eagles, they may not be in our team, but we are learning from them. This is how you're able to grow in this business. Some things, they are not in the yellow book. Some things are not in trainings like this. It is something you hear and it clicks and you go and apply. So those are trainings that you get. The next is the yellow book. This yellow book has a BF Suma profile, it has the products, and it has a compensation plan. If you need to understand anything about this business and how people get paid, we'll go into getting paid a little later, it is in the yellow book. And you need to read it like I did when I joined this business. Read it like a storybook first. Even if you don't know what departure bonus is, and I know many of us don't even know what departure bonus is, all those are there. Read it first like a storybook. You may not know what leader development bonus is, but read it first like it is a storybook. Then as you go on in reading this, your upline should help you, your sponsor should help you to be able to understand all this terminology so that you can grow even faster. And then an additional resource that we get is the health guide. The health guide is specifically an Eagles product that we have, which is a localized guide that has the products, recommended product packages for different ailments, and it also helps you to know if someone has this, what are the things I can recommend them. If you can't get someone to the doctor, the easiest thing to do is just go flip to the back of your health guide so that you can be able to see what can they get. The other key resource that we have are our doctors. At our wellness clinic, the first checkup is 1,500. For distributors, it is 1,000. So if you are bringing in a patient on the very first visit, which is 1,500, the doctor gives you back 500 shillings. This is important for you to know. Once you're finished with your patient and they have left, that's when you go back to the nurse. There's a book that you write in and you put in those details. You put in who it was, who you brought in, the date. Of course, usually it is the same day that you brought them in, your name and your phone number, and they will send you that money. and you don't need to remind them to send you. They will send it to you, because this is something that has been going on for a while. So you're able to actually get this as a thank you just from the doctors that you have brought in people. When they're coming in for their next checkup, it will be 1,000 shillings. And the subsequent checkups that they come, it's 1,000 shillings. The other things that you get when you join this business is a BF Suma app. So on your phone, download an app called Touch BF Suma. Touch BF Suma is where you can be able to keep track of your whole business. And here, you're able to also see some of the updates of things that the company is doing. And you're also able to keep track of how far incentives, the travel incentives, the car incentive, and also if you're getting the Star 4 incentive and the Star 7 incentive. We went through incentives on Tuesday last week. That's not the point of this particular training, but as you are growing, please speak to the person who brought you into the business. If you're in Star 3, for them to show you what the Star 4 incentive is and for you to work on getting it this month. It's $50. It's really good money that you can be able to get in addition to the bonus that you would get. So these are some of the things to talk about with the person who brought you into the business. The second is WhatsApp. We have two main WhatsApp groups. One is, of course, the initial Brilliant Eagles team, and the second is Brilliant Eagles 2, because we are over 1,000 in the Brilliant Eagles team. This is a place where you will be able to get all the information around BF Suma. And please note, these groups are specifically just about BF Suma. I know many of us get excited, especially when we get into groups, and you may start sharing things like word of the day or a Sunday encouragement. While we appreciate that, we love God, and that is really good, it is important to note that this group is specifically for BF Suma only. And one thing that you can actually do in the group is you can make sure that this group is pinned on your WhatsApp so that when notifications come in, it shows up at the very top. That is a setting that you put on your WhatsApp so that they don't get lost in the many chats that you may not have read. And then the next is events. We have events almost every Saturday. Why do these events exist? They exist so that you're able to grow your business. For instance, this coming Saturday, we have an event at Oak Place, which is a team building. And this team building, we are paying $3,000, which we should pay to your summit leader. And this is a place where we come just to have fun and also meet with the rest of the teams that are not in Brilliant Eagles. And also, it is a good place for you to grow your team because you're able to gel with your team away from the stress of PV and qualifying for things. You're able to actually just relax during this time. And then we have resources of images and video. This is a resource that we are really underutilizing. Every single event that we hold, we have images that come out, and there are some events where we have video as well. So if people are asking you questions about what this business is, instead of spending 2 hours or 3 hours trying to explain to them what BF Suma is, why not send them a video of Paul Mwat talking about the business, of Dr. Lubumbagi talking about the business? These are things that you can be able to do very simply, and they actually count as exposures that you need to go through so that people can join the business much faster, right? And also you can start your own Instagram page, you can start your own Facebook page where it is your own brand talking about BF Suma things. What is not accepted is calling your page BF Suma Eagles or BF Suma Wellness, things like that. Call it your name or call it your own brand so that you bring people under your brand and then you recommend BF Suma. That is something that is really important for us to do. For instance, you'll find someone like Shadid who has a page called Mafanikio kwa kila mtu. It's not written BF Suma, but it shows there the lifestyle of BF Suma distributors, the trainings that he is doing, the stories that people have. That is somewhere where I can recommend you go and check so that you can start learning how to be able to do it. Someone who also does it really well, of course, is Prexides. Caro also is doing it really well. Masindegwa, Lynette Buzu. These are people you can check out on Facebook to see what it is they are doing, and you do something similar on your pages. Whenever you have an event, carry your camera, your phone camera with you, take a few photos, take a few videos, and you can actually put that on social media. So on the Touch BF Suma app, the password is 8 characters. It will be a mix of numbers and words, and it is 8 characters. Please note, it will not accept any more or any less. It is 8 characters, and the username is KE, your number. For so many of us, it's KE7, and then your number. You can put in you forgot password. That's how you're able to log in and put in the password, and you can actually log in and view your progress in the company. At the very top here, you will see your rank. And depending on your rank, you'll actually be able to see it here, and the rank you're going to next. And the PV is your personal performance volume. This is your personal purchases, and it will give you your target for the month. And if you have not yet reached your target, it will show up here as inactive. If you have reached your target, it will show as active. And please note that when you make a purchase, the app does not update immediately, moving you from inactive to active. It may happen in the same day, or it may happen the next day at around 8 p.m. So those are some of the things that you need to learn about the app. Some of the things that you will do will not get onto the app immediately. What is on the app immediately is your purchases. Once you've purchased, if you go under dashboard and you click on this blue line, you'll be able to see your receipt. And this is an important thing to do at every shop. Even if you have not received a physical receipt from the shop where you have bought, but you're supposed to be receiving, but even if you don't receive, a minute or two after you have actually placed that order, if you click on this blue line, you should be able to see your online receipt. If you haven't seen it, please go back to the counter and ask that it is put into the system. This is a way of preserving your PV at any shop that you go into. Of course, there may be issues once in a while, once in a long while, but you should be able to see your PVs by the time you are receiving your products. The next is on your CGV. This is cumulative group volume, and we'll go into the details just a little in a few minutes. And this is from 0 to 12,000 and above. And we'll go through it in a minute. And then you'll be able to see what task you are supposed to be doing to get to the next level. And this is different for everyone. But once you get onto the dashboard, you should be able to see the same. Any questions, please put them in the chat so that I can be able to deal with them as we are going on. These are other things that you see. I've just talked about the order. So once you click the blue line, this is what you will see. You will see it at different levels. So at the very last level, it's bonus calculated. That means the money has been added to your bonus, but it usually starts at the very start where it is shop processing. That is the first thing. Then it goes into other statuses until bonus calculated. And then after that, now let's look at how are distributors ranked in this business. When you're joining the business, you can join this business at *2, and you can join this business at *7. And all this are valid ways of joining the business. And allow me right now just to go from sharing the screen so that I can show you how to start as a *7, because this is something that you can be able to actually do for your people. Let me put it like that. And then today, I have a whiteboard with me. So I'll just move just a little to this side so that we go to a whiteboard, okay? So in order for you to join this business, you can join this business at different levels. And I want to show you how someone can be able to join at *7. Let me move myself there so that it will be, anyway, let's go on. So someone can join as a *7. I'm just checking. Okay, we are okay. So someone can join as a star 7 and they join as a qualified leader. What do they need to do in order to join as a qualified leader? On the day of registration, I call this day 0, they need to do at least 6,000 PV. Okay? I need to move it like this. They need to do 6,000 PV on the day of registration. So how can they do 6,000 PV? And during this month, please place the answers in the chat. So what they'll need to do, they'll need to buy 108 of our pure unbroken. So what is 108 times 56? I want it in the chat so that I see that you're participating as well, and we can be able to do this. This is how someone can be able to join as a star 7. Okay. I know we know how people can join at star 2. I want to show you how people can join as star 7s. So place in the chat what is 108 times 56. Okay. Thank you, Dorothy. 6,048. Okay. This is a PV that they will get when they are joining this business. And why am I choosing this? I'm choosing this because our pure unbroken 30 capsules is the best product in terms of PV per shilling. Okay. It ranges, but the best is this. The next one I know is Athro Extra. That's one of the other really good ones. Thank you, Crispina, for the answers. So this person, when they are joining, how much are they spending? 108 times 78.30. How much is that? This is how much they are spending on the very first day to buy these products. Of course, this is to give you an example, okay? Don't tell someone to come and buy 108 pure unbrokens. They need to do a whole range of the products, but this gives you the example of how it works, okay? And I'm using this just for simplicity. They need to buy other products as well. So it is 845,640. Okay? This is how much it is. So let me just move myself there. You need to see the math, not the face. Okay? So this is how much they need. So plus 2,900, how much are they spending? How much are they spending? Hii math tunafanya leo kwa sababu I want you to be able to have these discussions with people and help them to join this business at these levels. Okay? Once they have joined like this, there's something the company does. They give you a bonus of 6,000 PV. This is not in the yellow book. It is just a drawing like this. It is not in the yellow book. It's just a drawing that you need to understand. So this person, when they join, they have 6,048 plus 6,000 points. So they have a total of 12,048 PV. Okay? They have 12,048 PV. This 12,048 PV, they are already a star 7. Okay? Because a star 7 has 12,000 points and above. Are we together there? And then at the end of the month, you'll allow me just to erase some of what is at the very top here so that you can be able to do this math together. At the end of the month, they will get a bonus of 12,048 times 28% times 135. How much is that? This is their bonus at the end of the month. Martin went to group of schools. 414. Okay? So this person, when they come in, first of all, let's do 30% of 845, 640. How much is that? I'll explain to you the whole math. And then
sorry, Momo, a correction yes. There. They get paid on the 6048.
On the 6048, okay.
Yes, which is 2,228 and 614.
No problem.
They just uploaded another free 6,000 to become a leader.
Okay.
But
so this is
don't get paid on the
200,000.
free.
60, 48 times 28.
228, 614.
614. Thank you for the correction. Okay. So 30% of the 845, 640. What's that math?
That is what?
845, 640 times 30%.
845. What do we say?
30% of 845, 640.
845, 640 times 30.
253.
253.
692.
Plus
okay.
228, 614.
So when this person comes in as a star 7, they have their PV. They're already a qualified leader because they did 6,048. To become a qualified leader, it is 5,000 points and above, and they did their 6,048. So they're already a qualified leader because their GPV is more than 5,000. When they sell these products, that they bought at 845, 640, they make a profit of 30% and they get their 253, 692. And at the end of the month, the company pays them the 228, 614. This is their bonus on the very first month when they have joined as a distributor. And so these are some of the things that you can be able to build in the people that you bring in. You show them how much money they can make. They're making 253 plus 228,000, 614. This is 6, 0, 3, 11, 12, 7, 8. At the end of that month, they will get 482,306. Of course, this is assuming that they sell all these products immediately, which they need to sell within the first 30 days. They need to figure that out. They need to come for training so that they can figure out how to be able to sell. They need to bring people to the doctor so that they can be able to sell all these products. But this is how you get someone started as a star 7. They can be able to come in and they spend, it's usually between 850 and around 1.3, depending on how much you help them and the products that they have gotten, depending on which mix of products that they have gotten. But that's how you're able to start someone on star 7. Okay? Because the way the business is built, is by having people who come in at star 2, at star 3, at star 4, or at star 7. Because if someone is going to come in with 5,000 PV, I would rather they look for some extra money to do the 6,000 PV and go straight to leader than have to go to star 5 and then move along there, right? And then the next thing is, as a distributor, it is important for you to make sure that every single month you are active. This is one of the places where some people even miss incentives, because you may come in and on the very first month, you don't know what is going on. Then on month 3, you realize this is a business I can be able to build, and you build it with a lot of speed and you start qualifying for things, but the company now goes and checks, were you active for all the months? So even if you don't know how to do the business to its full potential, make sure that you are actually being active every single month. And it is really simple to be able to do this. The company has placed a very low bar to be called an active distributor. For most people, it is between 20 PV and 50 PV, which is from star 2 to star 7. People who are above star 7 are doing 100, and it is only the people at star 12 who their minimum is 300. And for all these levels, that's just the bare minimum. However, if you really want to build this business and you want to make money, you cannot be looking at the minimum as the business that you want to do. One of the reasons is, if you want to be able to get enough people in your team, one of the things you need to be able to show them is how much money have you made. So if you're making small money, you'll be ashamed of telling people, come, let's make 300 shillings. Someone will tell you, si afadhali nikupe hiyo 300, unakaa uko na shida kunishinda. So those are not the things that you want to hear. You want that people can be able to see you're making more money than them, or you're growing towards making more money, and that's what brings them into the business. And then next, it's to talk about upline and downlines. The person who started you in this business is called your sponsor. And I'll illustrate it right now. This person is a person who introduced you into this business. And the second person that you need to know is called your upline. Your upline is the person who came into the business just before you. And if you're able to understand this, then you can be able to build a really huge business. And allow me to show you how that works on this whiteboard of mine, because it's difficult to draw for you a whole system on your on Zoom, but I can be able to show you right here. Okay. So right here we have this person who's joining the business. And this person is me, okay? This person is you who's joining the business. And when you join this business, you're usually above here. I'll call this person me, okay? And this me has a sponsor and has a downline and has an upline, okay? But then when I'm starting this business, where you have been placed, that is known as your first line. Where you find yourself, that is the first line. And when you're building your first line, ideally, you are building it and your sponsor is also building on that line. Remember, I said ideally, because you may get into this business and the person who brought you may not even bother to help you, or is not even serious. They really just wanted to get you into the business, and they may even be getting into the business and they don't know much about the business. So once someone has brought you into the business here, assume they don't exist. That's what helps you in this business. You may be getting help from me here, but assume I'm not there. What will you do? Okay? And that helps you to grow your business. But I want to illustrate sponsor and upline. Okay? So that you can be able to see, how to grow this business. So I'm here, that is me, and I bring in A. Remember, bringing into the business, this may be a patient, this may be someone who wants to build a business. So who is the sponsor? The sponsor is me. That's easy to get. And the upline is the first person above A. So if there is no distributor who came in between me and A, I am also the upline. And this is important to understand. Anytime you are the sponsor and the upline, or anytime actually where you are the upline, please note you have started a line. And in this business, the compensation plan tells you you need to build a maximum of 5 lines to get to star 12. Okay? And how do you build them? You build them by building line at a time. So this is how I'd build it. After I brought in A, say I bring in B as well. Sponsor here is Me. Who is the upline? Someone who's not a *7, someone who's not a *4, *3s and below, *2 and 3. Who is the upline here? I want it in the chat. Who is the upline? Rose says A, Belia says A. Who is the upline? Julia says A. I'm the one who's brought them into the business. Who is the upline? Okay. It's correct. The upline is A. Why is the upline A? Because that is a person that just came in before. And this needs to be in a book. You need to have a book specifically to do this. So in my book, what have I done? I've placed in distributor name. I've put in who is the sponsor. I've put in the phone number. And I've put in the distributor ID. That's how my book looks like. Okay? And I put this as line 1. Who is the first person that I brought in? Who was their sponsor? The phone number and distributor ID. Because even when you put someone in this business, even when you bring someone in this business, this may not update immediately. So you need to be able to do this in a book where you actually are able to put this in. And as I am building this, I've just shown you what is in my book. As I am building this, I first need to sponsor 5 people here. Me, sponsor 5. D, sponsor E on this line. And then A needs to sponsor 5 people on this line. So it will go F, G down like that. B needs to sponsor 5 people on this line. And the people they bring must bring 5 people on this line. What are we trying to do? We are trying to make sure that this line is strong enough. And how can we be able to know that this line is strong? That when you look at A in your app, there should be 5,000 GPV per month and above. That is the aim. Okay? And after you have put in 5 people here, you can come and open a second line. Okay? As people are coming into your business, you open a second line. Let's say we have person T here, and you put in your 5 people. That's when you open your line and you have Mr. P here, and you put in 5 people here. But this may not get you to senior crown leader yet. So after that, after you have people there are people on this line who are, this is their line 1, because for T, this is their line 1, and for P, this is their line 1, but for me, this is line 2 and 3. Remember, they need to put in 5 people on their first line so that they can grow that line, and you're growing it with them. So once I get here and I have people on 3 lines, what do I do? Okay, what do I do? I now come onto line 1 and I now start adding people here consistently. I know I put in 5, but 5 will not be enough. This line needs to be 100, 200, 300 people. Many times, because there are people who will put here who will not do this business at all. And so we cannot sit down and say, I'm waiting for B to bring his people. No, this is my business. It is A's business as well, anything that he sees here. But I still remember, even if I brought in A and he was a star person in an insurance company, I do not sit down and wait for A to work. I need to work. This is my business. And so you will never sit down and say, my upline is not putting people on the line, or my downlines are not working, because this is my business. And you need to build it in that way that you understand that any work that happens here is my fault. It is my responsibility. So I'll come here. Once this now does 5,000 and above, I am making sure that these people are working as well. And that takes me to star 8, senior leader. Then I now come to line 2. And I now build it until it also does its 5,000 and above. And that takes me to diamond leader. And then I go to line 3 and I build it until it does 5,000 and above. And then I get to senior diamond leader. And then you open a 4th line and you do the same. You open a 5th line and you do the same. That takes you all the way to star 12. And it is important to do this in such a way that you are not spread out too thin. There are people who they have more than 3 lines and they are trying to grow all 3 lines. But remember, if you are able to show this person that this business works because they are up-ranking, they will start bringing people because they have started seeing momentum in the business. And this person, when they see they are growing, they'll start bringing people. So the more people that you add down here, even these people, some of them who have slept, you're still talking to them once in a while, talking to them about you need to come to the business, you need to do the business. So you do that to be able to grow your business. The idea behind the business is that every month you're able to do recurring work of 5,000 PV in a month. So this is just what I have illustrated right now. And it shows you how you can be able to grow the business. And then let's look a little into some terminology. You've heard me mention PV. Every single product that we have has a point value attached to it. So we talked about Pure and Broken. The 30 capsules which you buy at 78.30 has 56 points on it. This is the currency of the company. Our Micro 2 has 10 points on it. Our Pure and Broken Sports Oil has 102 points on it. So different products have different points. And this is the foundation of the business because any single thing we talk about after that, it is around PV. And then we have value month. Our month starts on the 9th, like 9th of November. This month it started a little later, but usually 9th, and it will end on the 8th. So if you check on your app right now, we are 22 days left for the month. As we get onto the month, it will end on the 8th of December. On 9th of December, we start the next month. Your value year is the month that you joined. So for instance, if you join on January 1st, you are in December. And your month ends in November because January 1st is between December 9th and January 8th. And that's how you're able to know when you are qualifying for different things in the business. And then the company value year is in April. So that means that you need to try and qualify for incentives by the time the value year of the company is. So for instance, right now, if you're looking to travel in 2025, if you're looking to have a car in 2025, you need to have qualified for it by end of April 2025. Even though your value year may be later than that, you need to have at least qualified for it so that you can get it at the end of the year. And then for every single product that we buy, there is a bonus or a rebate that we get. And we'll go through it in a few. And this is terminology that you need to learn. The very important one for me here is PPV. PPV is your total purchase volume of products generated during a BF Suma value month. Make sure that it is above the minimum. Make sure that it has no maximum. There are people who are doing 2,000 PPV in a month, 3,000 PPV in a month. And of course, as we are going into this week, Carol will talk about it, we need to actually do a lot of purchases this week so that we can get the discounts and gifts that are there as well. And so allow me just a few minutes just to go through how bonuses are calculated and where does the company get this money from. Every product that you buy, the company has an allocation of rebate that it has placed to reward its distributors. Where does it get this money from? It gets this money from the fact that it is not doing any advertising. It is not doing any warehousing. It is not going through the normal expenses that a normal business of its size would be going through to get products into the hands of people. It is using you and I to be able to build this business. So when we recommend these products, that's how we make, that's why we are paid, because we are the advertisers. If you put things on your WhatsApp status, you're working, yes, for yourself, but you're working to get these products from BF Suma shelves into the hands of consumers. That's where your bonus comes from. And your bonus ranges from 5% to 28%. And I want us to go through a small example of how we can be able to understand this. And this is a small team of Michael. Michael is a star 5, and he has 3 people in his team. Remember, he's building a team. I've just placed them like this, but ideally you'd not have 3 lines, but they're just below him, okay? So he has a star 4 called George. He has Ruth, who's in star 3, and he has Diana, who's in star 2. And the PPV is the work they have done that month. So for Michael, he's done 570 points. Diana has done 237. Ruth has done 160. George has done 29. And so George, as a star 4, is supposed to do 30 points and above. And these are some of the things that happen in our teams, where you have someone in your team who has 1 PV less to be active, and we do not take the time to go through our app to see how far our people are, and we talk to them. So in this case, Michael should have spoken to George and tell him, by the way, just go and buy an Arctic soap so that you can get your bonus. It would be bad if you have 29 PV and you are supposed to do 30. There are people who have 19, they were supposed to do 20. That is the fault of you, the sponsor, you, the upline, because there are people who are in your business who may not understand that they are supposed to do at a particular level in order to get paid. And for Ruth, she's a star 3, which is a group volume of between 300 and 999. She's at 744. So for her, her bonus will be 160 times 9%. She'll go home with 1944. For Diana, this is her first month in the business, and she's done 237. You probably brought her to a doctor. She had many things that she was going through. She bought 237. At the end of the month, she'll be given 1599 because she's in star 2, and that's okay. Then for Michael, at his level, he's a star 5. He'll be getting at 17%, and that will be 13,081. And for the whole team, Michael is going to benefit because he has people in his team who are at a lower rank than he is. So he'll get the difference of their work like a sales manager gets, okay? So from Diana, he will get 3,839. Look at it. He's getting 3,839 and Diana is getting 1,599. But it's okay because Diana is working also towards going to star 7. And for Ruth, he'll get 1,728, almost equal to what Ruth got. For George, he'll get the whole bonus, 665. And for the whole team, he will make 6,232. And Michael will get 19,313. These are things that you see on your app every single time when you go under bonus info on the last page. And if George had done work, and in this case, we just changed George to be a star 5, and Michael is a star 5. So George will get his whole bonus of 3,442. And at this end, from George, Michael will not get anything because they are at the same rank. If you are at the same rank as your downline, then you need to work to move to the next rank so that you can be able to get bigger benefits that are there. I'll hand this over now to Carol to take us through the next part of this training. Thank you.